ladies and gentlemen.
Maybe. Hey, welcome to the question of Blog Talk Radio Conversation. For this part of the show, we are joined by parenting professional Carla Barnhill. Carla Barnhill is the curator of themommyrevolution.com and is a thinker and a writer and a commentator,
a doer,
and a creator, and a practitioner of modern day parenting.
I have 2 goals for today.
How about that?
One is to not make quite as many faces as I've noticed I tend to do.
You've been watching yourself?
I've been watching myself, and I'm always making faces.
What does it mean to make a face?
When I talk, I'm
like you're Bill Cosby or something?
Yeah, I'm like a cartoon character. So I'm going to try not to do that, and I'm going to try not to use my hands quite so much,
Why?
which I don't know if I can do or not. We'll find out. Because I'm just like fidgety. It's not even using my hands when I talk. It's like I'm touching my hair.
Yes,
I'm just like
be you.
Like a little ADHD toddler over here, futzing and fiddling.
So tell us what we're going to talk about, and I'm going to send an updated Twitter.
All right, we're going to talk about loneliness.
Oh boy.
Doesn't that sound sad?
Yeah.
And depressing?
Yes.
That's what we're going to talk about. How you been?
I've been fine. I've been fine.
I've been traveling.
I've been traveling. Had a busy week last week, and had a. Well, someone said they were having a problem with the.
With the audio. There's dead air right now. We're not doing it.
Yeah, I don't know. No dead air to me. It seems live air to me. So yeah, I've been fine.
Okay, good.
Busy and sort of running around, and this heat is getting to be a little much. I'm playing golf today. Can you tell?
I was going to say you have a golfy shirt on.
I have my golf shirt on. Yes.
Perfect day for it. Heat warnings and stay hydrated.
I know. Isn't that ridiculous?
Dehydrated. 2 weeks ago, I was thinking when I was here, I had jeans and a sweater on. 2 weeks ago.
See this state, its frigidities and
I like this weather.
I do too. This is. I think this is better.
Yep.
I think this is a better way to go.
I
So,
do too.
Carla.
So we're talking about loneliness over there on the mommyrevolution.com. Last night we had a fun little thing. We had a webinar.
Yes, how did it go?
Which seems a little 2004 to me, but we still had a really good time. We had like 400 people sign up. They had to ask us to stop promoting it because so many people were part of it. It's not. I mean, it was my friend Karen Rivadeneira, who is my partner over at the mommyrevolution.com. We did this together, and we just had a great time, great conversation. So hopefully we'll get to do another one of those.
Yes, and how many people showed up in your?
I have no idea. I have no way of knowing.
Like they don't.
Well, they probably know, but I couldn't tell from what we were doing.
And when you were doing the webinar, were you?
Yeah, people were chit chatting. There's they could talk alongside us. And I mean, so Karen and I, it was sort of like this actually. It was very much like this setup, where we're on the screen and there's people are logged in and they're yeah.
And were you sitting next to each other? Or using
we were.
A camera
she was in
room?
Chicago and I was in Minnesota, and we were.
What cameras were you using?
I had my husband's computer with the webcam, and she had her husband's computer with the webcam.
Yeah.
Because neither of us has one apparently.
Well, because as much as you want to get out of the Ruth, Naomi, and Boaz world.
Yeah, that's kind of your thing this week, isn't it?
No, I just talked about it the other day, but it was so interesting. It's one of these Bible stories where there's no judgment on this. There's just a culture around women being, the society being based, around a man's family.
Yeah. So if you're without a family, if you're without a man, you're without a family.
It would be almost as devastating as today being without health insurance.
Almost. Well, it's interesting. I mean, we have lots of single female friends, and it is still a struggle for women today. Single women today, especially if their father is no longer in the picture for some reason, there is a real. They still really struggle with the lack of that male presence, not for themselves, but because the culture still operates around. Somehow or another, there needs to still be a man sort of watching out for you and covering you. And
well, what if you're going to try to do a webinar?
Right. What would I have done without my husband? What would I do? I might have had to go out and get my own computer with a thingy-ding on it. I know. But then who would help me pick it out?
And a pack of Virginia Slims,
apparently. I know. What?
We've come a long way, baby.
We've come a long way, baby. That's right. I forgot about those.
They were all part of that.
Yeah.
Women's freedom thing until all those women now are laying in hospital rooms with oxygen masks on, having their lungs removed.
Yeah, right.
Long way, baby.
Yeah.
Way to go.
Yeah, look at you. You're not having to do dishes anymore, though, are you? See? Worked out. Yeah, so we've been talking about loneliness.
You didn't have any kids to not come visit you in the hospital? You're dying of lung cancer.
Are your coworkers coming? No, they're not.
That's terrible.
Devoted yourself to that career.
No,
now
we're
look at
just making fun of.
Yeah. Oh, see, I just did it. See, I just made a big face.
Oh, yeah. Well,
that's what I'm not doing.
I might capture it and zoom in on it.
Please do.
You know what I should do? I should move
again.
this camera closer to all of you.
As opposed to being across the room.
Yeah. So give us your
well, so we're talking about loneliness. That to me, it's I find it to be one of the most pervasive problems that mothers face. I don't know about fathers. Again, we're the mommy revolution. So when I talk about this as a mother's thing, it's not because I don't think it ever happens to men, but because I don't know. But it tends to be one of those sort of no-talk problems that mothers deal with. And it doesn't really matter if you're a mom who's home with her kids all day long, or if you're a mom who works outside the home in some capacity or some combination thereof. I've done both things in my time as a mom, and I've been equally lonely in both of those times because parenting absorbs so much of your time and energy and focus that you have very little left to give to other kinds of relationships. I think that's a big part of it. It's very isolating. Parenting is very isolating. You're not able to do a lot of the things that you used to do that were the ways you made connections with people. You're not available to go out for long late night dinner, movie, let's go out for coffee and spend all night talking kinds of things. You know, those ways of connecting with people and really building deep friendships aren't really available to you anymore, or aren't necessarily options you can't really organize your life around them very well. They have to sort of squeeze into your spare minutes, and you don't really have a lot of those, especially I think when your kids are younger, although I'm finding as my kids get older, we're just as busy in a different way. Now we can't go places because we got to take them to camp, or we got baseball that night, or we aren't going to be able to do that because we got a band concert to go to. Yeah. So sorry, we can't come to your birthday party. And now
it's not that you're sitting home alone with no one to talk to. Now it's pop.
Right, now you're just driving around town. Yeah. Going to this, that, and the other thing, and even though my family, we aren't a particularly busy family. We're not one of those hyperactive families where everybody's doing everything all the time. But even having, one kid who's plays soccer and is in the band creates, 2 nights during the week where we're at soccer, a third night when we've got practice. Then, the band concert comes up. And, it just one kid's 2 activities can create a whole, and
especially for people like you all who maintain a full life.
Well, we try to maintain.
Well, you try to,
but we're involved. We're involved in our churches, and we're involved in our friends' lives, and we try to do lots of different things.
Yes. Not everybody has it. They're just kids.
Yeah. So and so the loneliness part comes in because you don't have the time or the energy or the space to really develop these deep friendships. And I find even when you're hanging out with other moms, it's really hard for moms to move past talking about the kids or complaining about the kids, or so the conversation and the relationship becomes about that, and it doesn't move into those deeper places that create real meaningful friendships. And plus, there just isn't the time and the focus for it to do that. Yeah. So the result is, the ripple of all that is that women deal with this very deep and real sense of loneliness that then trickles down into depression and a sense of isolation. A lot of women, you'll just kind of start to shut down, and after a while you don't even know how to make friends anymore. You sort of turn inward and pour yourself back into your family, and it just becomes this cycle where loneliness has created something that you can't break out of anymore, and it perpetuates itself. So that's what we've been talking about. And our mutual friend, the fabulous Tim Keel, had a post on his blog a few weeks ago about loneliness, and he was referencing another article that talked about, is there some redemptive purpose in loneliness?
Well, let's get to that in a second on the recording. We're going to get